we nearly had it. What's up guys, Jack here, and in today's video, we have found a absolutely broken vehicle in the Forza Motorsport hoppers. So Forza Motorsport balances the cars in their series, and unfortunately, they've done once again a terrible job. The Toyota is so much faster in the corners than every other car. I don't get how they didn't have someone playtest this. Like, I'm just driving around these people like they're standing still, and I'm on hard tires. I am destroying the field in this car. Now, some of the other cars aren't too far off, and I got a little bumped and I got a little bit annoyed by that Mercedes, so I might give them a little bit of payback. Accidentally make a little bit of contact with the Mazda. I apologize, but I'm a little bit annoyed with that Mercedes, so I'm just going to give them a little bump as a little bit of payback for slamming into me in the hairpin, but we're going to move on. This car is just completely broken. Once again, Forza Motorsport has not got a grasp on how to balance its cars correctly. In the Forza GT hoppers, you have the Audi R8, which has still not been balanced. And you also have cars in those hoppers that are just completely unusable. So with the touring cars, they did make an adjustment to the Volkswagen Golf. Good, that's a good start, but what have you done since then? That's the only move they've made so far, is one car in adjustment. Come on, that's not enough, Forza, so yeah, that's just not enough. So the new problem with this car, I've done a couple races with it so far, and in qualifying, I only practiced. I didn't qualify. I wanted to start at the back. My practice lap was 4.5 seconds faster than the fastest qualifying lap. So the guy who started on pole was 4.5 seconds slower than my best time in the practice session. I didn't think this car would be that good on tracks with longer straightaways, but the straightaways don't really matter because this car accelerates so well anyways, and you can see I'm just driving right around the outside of all of these other cars on hard tires with no issues at all. He's nowhere near. All the other cars in this lobby I saw were braking in that corner. That corner's flat when you get it right. And you can just see how much time we gain up in every single high-speed corner. I just don't understand how Forza Motorsport managed to say these are balanced. Like, the Mazda 787B is at 950 PI, and it's the worst car. Even if you put it at like 970 PI, it wouldn't beat this thing. So I just have a lot of question marks on who they're asking to balance these. Like, it just does not make any sense to me. And yeah, I don't really know where we're gonna go from here. This hopper's just completely broken at the moment, and luckily I haven't seen too many other people use this car, but I mean, now that we know the car is just bonkers, it's gonna be beaten on some of the other tracks, but I just went full aero front and rear on this car, and are you seeing me really struggle too much on the straights? I still out-dragged him because I had such a good run, but we're still barely hitting essentially the same top speeds in these corners. Until we hit 170, this car doesn't start slowing down. It doesn't hit that big wall. So I'm amazed that Forza ended up with this. So the car, the 1993 Toyota Eagle, this car is one of the fastest cars that ever raced, period. This thing is borderline F1 speeding corners of its time, comparing to the 90s F1 cars. The Toyota that raced at Le Mans with the V10 engine, that car fractured a driver's back from cornering. They had a bump while cornering, and there was so much force from that, it broke the driver's back. This car had very, very similar downforce numbers, if not even higher, because running at the American tracks, they don't have as long as the straightaways outside of Daytona. And with Daytona and this car being a massive downforce car, you don't think, oh, it's probably that fast. This car held the race lap record, or the qualifying lap record, at Daytona until Mazda's DPI beat it a few years ago. I believe it was in 2019 when they switched to Michelin tires. So they blew that lap time out of the water by 0.2 on a shorter track. These things on modern rubber would be this thing was probably faster than a Toyota hybrid LMP1 car if you put modern tires on it and let it run at its full power. It was just that fast. So why this car is still with the highest PI, it's like almost Forza just looked at the speed stat and just said, oh, it's like 4.5 or something like that because it's stupid low. Yeah, it's stupid low, but look what I just did to the Mercedes, which is really fast on the straights. I just outbroke him and still turned into the corner from the outside. You can see he tries to hang with me in this corner. He has no shot. So it's disappointing. The car is amazing, and I love the idea of trying them get this group together, but you can see I threw softs on now and I got a little scared. This car's just got so much grip when you try and turn out of the way, it just instantly snaps on you. So you can see, okay, we lost a little bit on the straight. Okay, well, I'm already on him in the corner again. It's not like these guys are super, super slow. It's not like I'm in the worst lobby ever seen. But the fact that I can gain almost 5 seconds a lap on the race leader is outrageous. And I'm going to peek up the inside, but he didn't want me to. But I'll just say hello in the next corner. So he gets a massive run again, and I'm already on his bumper. And I'm taking a different line because he's going to hold me up if I actually go as fast as I can through there. So how big of a difference is there in the brake zone? Yes, there is. But I make a big mistake, and I get on the curb here, and I hit the TCS, and he just plows me from behind. He's probably like, oh, I'm going to ram this dude anyways. So we got to get going again, turning back around. Very difficult to do when you run the TCS like a noob I did on this. So it was the first time I drove the car. Be nice, comments. So you can see he drove away pretty quickly. And I wanted to show you that now you can see the windshield wiper came on. So we're going to stay out another lap on these soft tires, and everyone else is going to pit. And the track conditions will now favor the wet tires. I'm still faster with soft tires on in these conditions, and as the track gets a little bit trickier, still faster than the wet runners who are now coming out of the pits. That's just insane to me, but yeah, hopefully Forza can do something. This car needs a lot of power and a lot of weight. They need to give it as much weight as you can give a car in the homologation, and maybe that'll do something, because it's just got so much cornering ability. You can in the X-Class hoppers, I ran this car a couple of times. I've passed F1 cars in the corners. The only places those F1 cars beat me is just on top end and acceleration. So that guy on the Mercedes is on wets, and we still just dive right up the inside, right by him. Like, it's just not an issue. So yeah, I'm gonna leave the rest of the race to play out. I'm just gonna throw on some wets at the end of this lap, and that's the end of my rant. Sorry if I sound a little frustrated. I kind of am. I don't know if I'm more frustrated or disappointed, but Forza really messed this one up again. I'm Jack. Thanks for watching the video, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.
Three remaining.